everyone, welcome back to my channel. The reason I wanted to make this video is because, when I was pregnant and I started doing my research, started making my list as to what to buy for newborns, it was so overwhelming. I was so confused. There were a lot of blogs, there were a lot of articles, and everybody had their own list and everybody had their thought process, and I really didn't know where to start. So what I did is I took all those lists, I put it all together, saw the reviews and figured out what our preferences as a family was, and accordingly I purchased whatever was needed for Nishka. Now, before even you start buying things, it's important to consider your budget, your lifestyle, your preferences, because every product in its market has a range and then it has its own pros and cons. So it's very important to assess what suits your lifestyle the most. Now, the first and the most important thing you need to think about buying is a car seat. Because if you don't have a car seat, you cannot leave the hospital with your baby. It is extremely essential to purchase a good car seat. Now, a couple of things that I learned while purchasing a car seat. One is, what's the weight of the car seat? Some car seats are heavy, some car seats are light. Two, do you want the car seat to fit into a stroller style, or do you just want it to be a car seat in itself? And third is, of course, you want to research the safety, the reviews, and everything. Kaushik and I decided to get the Duna only because it's a car seat that converts to a stroller. So it makes life just very easy, especially when you're going for doctor's appointment, you're going to the market, you're going, trips that you don't want to carry a separate stroller and a car seat. So Duna was perfect to us. It had rave reviews. Everyone we knew loved the Duna. So that's what we decided. Of course, with the Duna, you cannot use it for a very long time because the baby outgrows it, and eventually you will have to buy a bigger car seat or a stroller. That's something you want to consider, but we are huge fans of the Duna. We love it. We use it so much. We also have another bassinet stroller, which we sometimes take Nishka in for a walk or at picnics. More so when she was smaller. Now that she's bigger, we use the baby carrier more often. But at the start, the bassinet stroller was a game changer. We had the Greco one and we really liked it. With the car seat, you also need to see if it's compatible with your car, because not all car seats are compatible. So that's something you want to do a check before you actually purchase the car seat. The other thing we purchased with the car seat was the back mirror, because if you're having the baby at the back, I usually end up sitting with Nishka at the back, but sometimes I end up sitting in the front. And to be able to see Nishka, you need a backseat mirror. I think it's super helpful, and it'll also remind you there's a baby in the back. Just from a security perspective, I think it's a great thing to buy. So definitely add it to your list. And the next one is the stroller. Now, we end up using the baby carrier more than we use the stroller. But if you're purchasing a stroller, it's important to see the size, the weight, and also what terrain you need. Some people like to jog with the baby. For that, you get jogger strollers, but I think that you can use it only later on. For a newborn, I would recommend a bassinet stroller. And like I said, I purchased the Greco one, which was very, very helpful. The next most important thing is the crib. Oh my God, I did so much research on the crib because I wanted something that looks aesthetically pleasing, suits a nursery, but at the same time is useful and lasts us long. And we ended up zeroing on the Nestig Crib. You can use it as a small crib, and then you can transition it into a big crib, and then you can transition it into a toddler bed, which is amazing, right? Because you save so much money. You buy one thing and then you can use it at different phases of your kid's life. So we love the Nestig. It has different styles. We got the Wave because it has wheels, so we can put it in the nursery. We can then wheel it into our room whenever need be. And it was perfect because with Nishka, we used it as a bassinet, then as a crib, now which she sleeps in, and hopefully we'll use it as a toddler bed as well. Next is the baby carrier, game changer. We absolutely love it. We actually use it more than the stroller. Initially, we couldn't use it because Nishka was a tiny baby, so we waited till she became 11 or 12 pounds and she grew a little bit in height. So we started using the Ergo Baby Omni carrier, which we absolutely love. Kaushik loves it. Whenever Nishka is cranky, he takes her for a walk in it. I also love it, but I end up using the BOPPY carrier much more just because it's easy for me to tie and adjust. But we love both. We have both and we use it really often. I think baby carrier is a game changer, and I think everyone should have one just because it's great when you have to multitask. and take care of the baby, especially if the baby is cranky and you can't just leave him or her. Just plop them in the baby carrier and do whatever you need to do. The next thing I purchased was a pack and play. I mean, at the start when I was making my list, I didn't think it was important. But then we started thinking of traveling, going to friends' place, and not everybody has a suitable place where you can place the baby if they want to sleep, or not every hotel has a crib. So the pack and play was a game changer. We got the Graco one. Great. We've tried and tested it by now, and I definitely recommend it. It's sturdy enough to keep the baby, and Nishka was fairly comfortable in it. So you have the top part where you can keep the baby, you can take it off, and you can have it like a play yard or a playpen where the baby can play as well. So definitely recommend that. The next three things is related to the baby bottles. For us, we love the baby brown bottle. Nishka loved it, and we used it right when she was born to now, and I think we'll continue using it. I know in the market there are a lot of different kinds of bottle, and when you start looking it can get so taxing and overwhelming. Different nipple shapes, different bottle sizes, and I think it's best to try different bottles to see what your little one likes. We tried a couple with Nishka, and Nishka just seemed to like the Dr. Brown bottles way more than any other bottle. So we stuck around with that. Now for the bottles, you need a sterilizer. You can definitely boil the bottles, but we just wanted to get the sterilizer so that I can sterilize my breast pump parts. Nishka's bottle just makes life easier. So I actually got the Baby Brezza sterilizer. It was super helpful and we love it. Along with that, we also got a bottle warmer. Pretty debatable because a lot of people feel you don't need a bottle warmer. You can just give them at a room temperature, or you can just heat it up in a mug. I think those are great. For me, it was very helpful because in the middle of the night, I would have some of my breast milk stored, and if she wanted it, it was a quick heat. So we actually got this bottle warmer from Tommy Tippy, and then we transitioned into a Grown Z, I think it's called, bottle warmer. I'll link all the links in the description below, and it's been very helpful because, in the middle of the night, I don't have to think. I wake up, just heat a bottle and give it to her. The next thing we got for Nishka, even before she was born, was the play gym. We got the Love Every play gym, and we love it. Nishka loves it. She's on it actually most of the time during the day. And what I love about Love Every is that, at every stage, they can give you toys that are suitable for their development, which is great because as parents, sometimes you may not know what toys to use for different ages to initiate different kind of movements and motor skills. And if you subscribe to Love every month, they will send you the toys with instructions on how you can play with your little one and use those toys. So we love it. If not anything else, the play gym itself is a great buy because you can leave your little one in the play gym while you're doing other stuff. There are a lot of little things that, the baby can look at and keep themselves engaged and entertained. So highly recommend that. Another thing we got is the bouncer. Again, another very useful thing to get. Of course, there are safety guidelines you should check with every product that you buy. We actually got the Baby Bjorn bouncer, which was really nice because, we could plop Nishka in it, especially after a feed where they need to be upright. It was very helpful, and, sometimes she just doesn't want to lay on the ground and she just wants to be upright, play with things. That's when the bouncer is super helpful. But of course, check your safety guidelines with the baby bouncer, especially with the newborn. It's very essential, but all in all, we love that product. It's been super helpful. Nishka spends a lot of time in it as well. Another thing you want to get is the baby tub. We got the Boon Soak tub, which has been great. Nishka took it very easily and she was very comfortable in it. There are a lot of other tubs in the market that you can consider. I think some people say with the Boon Soak, the baby kind of slips, which I have seen, but that stops happening once the baby grows. So once Nishka grew up, she stopped slipping and it was just very comfortable. But there's Skip and Hop tub, which I also like. It's a great tub to buy. Fisher Price has a tub. So I think it really is about trial and error with a lot of these things. You need to try and see what suits your baby. And there are a lot of great products. I actually have a lot of products. These are just some of the things I'm mentioning. I don't sometimes stick to one product. I try different things and see what Nishka loves the most and then accordingly decide. The next thing I also got is the BOPPY pillow. Love the BOPPY pillow. Actually, when we started with the BOPPY pillow, I didn't find it useful because I wasn't nursing a lot and it was just very uncomfortable. But what I realized that eventually when Nishka grew up a little bit, to feed her or even to help her do tummy time, the BOPPY pillow was a game changer. We loved it. We used it a lot. But of course, soon as she grew even more, she started doing more tummy time on the floor. So then we didn't use it that much. But at the start, till she got comfortable lifting her neck and doing tummy time. I think the BOPPY pillow was really, really helpful. Some of the things you also need is the swaddle. When your baby is born, they like to be comfortable, they like to be snug, you know, it kind of mimics their environment in the tummy. We actually started with the muslin cloth swaddle, which we really liked, but just from an ease perspective, it's easier with the Velcro ones. So we started using the Halo sleep sack, which we absolutely like. We even use it till now. Nishka is almost 4.5 months and we still use the Halo sleep sack. Game changer. So that's something I would really recommend. Another sleep sack we really like is the Kite baby sleep sack. It has different levels of warmth, so that's something you can look at as well. Another few things, essentials we got is clothes. We love magnetic knee. You know, with a baby, they're so small. Like, I was so scared of putting clothes through her head. So these zippers or the magnetic clothes are much easier for a baby. You know, at the start, I would recommend not buying clothes which you have to put the baby's head in because they're so fragile. Get those zipper onesies or the magnetic knees, which are also very, very helpful. Okay, so I think I covered most of the stuff. Some of the hygiene stuff that you need is the snot sucker, the Frida snot sucker, the saline drops. I think very helpful when your baby has a congestion, a nail clipper. You know, babies have vicious nails. They grow really, really fast. So you definitely need those. Then burp cloths, very important. I love the Kia baby burp cloths. They've been my favorite. There are a bunch of other burp cloths I love, but this one we love. Again, with the crib, you can have a baby dresser. You have a diaper pail. These are all optional stuff, so I wouldn't really mention it in the video. On your baby dresser, you will have an area where you can change diaper, the diaper changing station. Again, I don't want to mention that in the video. Everybody has different styles, but I've tried to mention the most essential items that you would probably need for a newborn. And I have so much to say, so many things to recommend, but I'll try and break it down into different categories just so that it's useful for you guys. But I hope this video was useful because I know it can get very, very overwhelming with the tons of options you have in the market. The one thing I recommend is making your list. I actually took a list from all my friends who delivered a lot of blog items, and I compiled it with the pros and cons, prices, and everything that was useful to me. And you know, sometimes you don't have to buy everything in one go. You can buy the most essential items, and some you can keep buying as the baby is growing. I think that's one mistake I did. I bought a lot of items right at the start, some that wasn't helpful, some that we didn't like. So you know, sometimes in hindsight, what I would have done is bought in batches according to priority. That also helps. But overall, you know, it's a learning process as new moms, first-time moms. You know, it's a lot of decisions to make. So, you know, you will make mistakes through the process, and that's okay. But I hope this was helpful, and I'll come back with many more videos. Till then, don't forget to connect with me on Instagram at Social Nupur. I share a lot of things there, and I will see you next time. Till then, lots of love.